Excellent. Good. Let's see. Okay, good. That is good. Hey, what's going on? Greg Gold Coast. What's going on? How are you? Hi, how are you, Greg? How is everything? My daughter running in and out of the room. All right, welcome. How are you doing, everybody? Ramsey, no, not a new room. I am on the road. Hello, Desiree. Hello. Yes, Maria, Ken from Lake Mary. How is it going? Brittany, Ohio, welcome. Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome. Hi.
I
said hi.
She said hi. Yes. How are you doing, everybody? How is it going? All right, Kentucky, Julie. Let's see. Paul from Beaver County, Pennsylvania. Welcome. How's it going? Christine. Don Jr. was down here. Awesome. Dade City, Florida. Welcome. Some of you got to see my daughter for the first time on camera. She was on a long time ago, but many of you newbies have never seen her before. Hello there. What's going on? Attica, New York. Amherst, New York. Fantastic. Let's go, Brenda. I like it. Michelle, hello. Melina Moss, hello there. Paula, Leah in Maryland, Texas, fantastic. South Dakota, Jesse. Don't get nervous, Pink Honey. Don't get nervous. Everything will be fine. How's it going? She's so cute. Yes, thank you. Let's see. Patriot, nice. Hi, Kathy from Idaho. Ontario, Canada, welcome. Jason from Blytheswood, South Carolina. Jessica from Flagstaff, beautiful area. Hello, Diana. Hi there. Hello, Laura from Wisconsin. And Eva from Long Island, beautiful name. Lori from Connecticut, welcome. Hello, how are you? Good to see everybody. Fantastic. Awesome. Here we go. Look at it. Everyone's rolling and I love it. We're doing things a little differently tonight if you didn't notice, okay? So yes, I travel. I actually travel a lot before COVID. I used to travel a lot more. I used to travel once or twice a month, and I'd actually like to get back to that because I love travel. I used to go to all the different cities for different seminars, conferences, speaking, etc. So I am traveling because there's a chiropractic seminar that I'm at in Tampa. And so I'm a little I did not fly. We drove, so just a couple hours down the road. That's where I am. That's why I'm on the road. That's why I don't have my hat on. I do have my shirt on, and that's why I'm in a hotel room, and that's why the lighting is the way it is, because welcome to it, and I was on the run, so I did not take everything. I have my trusty laptop, a great microphone, and ready to rock and roll with you guys. So, we are ready to rock and roll, and I will tell you, I was working and driving, so I didn't see stuff until about 6 o'clock tonight, what was actually going on, and I don't listen to the radio, I listen to podcasts, so I did not know everything that was happening, but I got a little bit of a catch-up on it. Now, some of you are going to say, why isn't Jason Q on a Friday night? Because I'm mobile, and my internet connection is only so great, so I don't want to pull him on and have a really messy stream. So Jason will be on Sunday nights. So this Sunday night, we're going to switch from Friday night to Sunday night. So instead of me doing solo on Sunday, I'm doing solo tonight. And then Jason will be back on again Sunday night. Okay? So tonight, we're going to ramp through stuff. I try to go faster when I'm on the road just because try to get some rest and everything else, but we'll go. I have nowhere to be, so I'll be happy to answer questions, and we'll see how it goes. And then my software works a little differently on the road, so I'm going to show you the best I can on my computer, my laptop, and we're going to rock and roll, but we're going to have fun, okay? First and foremost, everyone, don't panic. Don't be afraid of what's going on. Don't be scared. You're not being it's not coming out in the fact that, oh my gosh, these events are happening and it's scary. What's really happening, or what's really occurring, is all this stuff was always going on behind the scenes and nobody knew about it, except for, quite honestly, and I'm not going to play the we were right card, but anyone who's been in the conspiracy world like I have for a decade plus, you've heard Dr. Mike Reed, who's been on, who's amazing. We've known about this stuff in not every detail. Did I know a lot about Hunter Biden? No, I did not. Did I know a lot about Joe Biden? No, I just know about the general chessboard. We've known this stuff was going on forever. I mean, this is part of the mess. I mean, I tweeted and posted earlier in regards to, everyone thought that the whole reptilian and all that stuff was crazy stuff until here we are. We've been studying this stuff for a long time. My goal, my purpose is to help bring some of this to you, both normal political as well as deep underground stuff, all the different things I have been helped bring to you, okay? So don't be nervous. I've talked to so many people over the last week. No one is nervous. The ones who are in the know this is going to go fine. We're going to get through this. We're going to come out even better. But we have to educate you, because this is a problem. You cannot stay blind to this information. You have to know what is going on. And since you didn't know about it, the really big thing is you now have to know the source of it so we don't let it happen again. Now, tonight I'm going to do some video stuff. I'm going to do my best to keep it so the sound doesn't reverberate again, because I don't have all my equipment here. But I'm going to show you some stuff. And tonight we're just going to start with some really cool stuff, because I do have my Trump shirt on. The hotel front desk just thanked me for wearing my Trump shirt, which I thought was quite fascinating. But that's cool. So now that I get a little special care because the hotel likes my shirt. We're going to dive in, because one of the things about the president, and I knew this about Trump before he was president, but just being in New York, you knew a little bit about him, was he's a very blue collar guy, meaning he talks to people, he gets to know people. He's not just this elitist who is like, he has a beautiful home and he lived in a gold palace in New York City, basically, but he was in touch with the common worker, especially in New York and around that. And that's what we're really bringing back. We're bringing back a workers' economy, a workers' country, meaning I had this conversation with someone earlier today. Some people want wages just to go up. We need to have a basic living wage. That's what people have said. No, you don't have a basic living wage. Why? Because a basic living wage, now, I have said that people should survive. I'm not talking about the same thing here. There should be no minimum wage. That is minimum. Putting in a minimum wage is very anti-free market capitalism. It's very socialist and very communist, actually. Why? Because if you want your minimum wage to go up, you don't let government do it. The best way to actually have wages go up naturally is put the people to work, put production and manufacturing back in America. When you do that, then products are demanded. Well, then we have to make more products, which actually means more workers go to work. The prices will actually go up a little bit, because we've actually been suppressing prices with government subsidies like farm products, food, etc. And when you put these things back together, wages actually naturally rise. So if you would like to make more than $7 an hour, $10 an hour, $15 an hour, if you want to make $20, $30, $50, $100 plus an hour, the only way you will ever have that occur in life is through free market capitalism. That's it. Now, some people are going to say we've had capitalism and it's not been good. No. You have not had capitalism. You've had corruption. You've had crony capitalism. That is not capitalism. Free market capitalism has not been seen in America for a very long time. But when you implement it and you bring manufacturing and production back to the U.S., and we make our own products, doesn't mean we can't import still, just means make stuff that we're good at. For example, building buildings, building vehicles, etc. Wages will naturally rise. That's how it actually works. And then you will have Then guess what happens? When that occurs, you actually will put the family back together too, because a lot of times, if this is the way you want to work your family, and no one's saying you have to, a lot of times if the mother would like to stay home, or dad, I mean, obviously we're in a new world, but typically, traditionally, if the mom wanted to stay home, you could survive very well off of one income. Do you remember those days? Now, I was born on the tail end of those days, but that's actually how it's supposed to work, okay? Is that we can keep the family together, all right? Now, let's dive in, because I'm going to show you what this president is like, all right? So here we go. Oh, see, I got to get used to this now because I wasn't doing it properly. Here we go. I have to get used to my own software when I'm not around, when I'm on the road.
Got your back. Yeah, you see, you are the best. You are the safest. I'm from Dominican Republic, but I'm American. I'm an American. Oh yes.
And I'm Brazilian.
And Sammy Sosa, he endorsed me, Mr. President. I was running for Congress, and he endorsed me. He's a good guy. I will. He's listening. I'm sure he's listening. Yeah.
Brazilians for Trump.
Brazilians for Trump. Oh,
Brazilians for Trump.
Mr. Trump, you have to build a golf course in the Dominican Republic, and Casa de Campo is the best. The teeth of the dog. Oh yeah, the teeth of the dog. You play there, right?
Mr. President.
Successful job in Dominican, the housing sites.
Yes.
Anywhere for Uribe? Did you know that they released Uribe from Colombia? Yeah, I know. That he
How's it all
released.
going? Good?
Yeah, he's doing very good. He's better than us.
Mr.
Like,
President.
he's literally just having
Mr.
conversations
President,
with these
President.
wonderful people, and isn't that fantastic? I mean, he is just a man, he's just a man of the people. Now,
Mr. President.
I'm going to cut it off there because, unfortunately, that woman gets very, very loud, and it's kind of annoying, and she's just kind of driving him up a wall. So, because for 30 seconds, she's, Mr. President, very nice. She's trying to get his attention. I don't blame her. But my whole point of that was that he's just having a conversation with the people. Like, that's how awesome he is. He is having a conversation. He's being a person or a leader of the people. He doesn't have to do that. And do you understand when celebrities are on the road or presidents are on the road? Like, I dare you to find one clip. I dare you to find one clip of Clinton, Obama, Bush's, and before that you see where they're talking to the president from less than maybe 10 feet away and just having a conversation. You don't see that ever, okay? So I thought that was phenomenal. Now, let's dive into the meat of the day. Here we go. So, Hunter. What can I say here, folks? Another conspiracy about to be proven true. Accused pedo rat Hunter and Joe Biden scandal takes a dark turn. FBI's top lawyer on child porn involved in the case. What did I tell you, folks? I told you, because everyone wants Hillary and Biden and Hunter and Obama, everyone wants them to go down on legal charges of corruption, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And everyone's saying, why aren't they arrested? Why aren't they arrested? Why aren't they arrested? Well, one of the reasons they're not arrested was because if you're going to take these people down, first of all, you have to have a very good, you have to have literally the smoking gun evidence in your hands showing them video proof, picture proof, being involved in corruption. You have to. And trust me, most of these people are attorneys. I don't dislike attorneys, but there's some attorneys that are not so wonderful, and they're corrupt, and they're shady, and loopholes, etc., right? Not all. There's some great attorneys out there, and I have some good attorneys. However, if you're going to take them down, you got to take them down on hard charges. What's harder than if you have video or picture or email evidence of trafficking, possible pedophilia. And trust me, again, I posted on my thing today, do not post pictures. Do not post pictures or videos or even email of anything that is in regards to harming a child or a female or anything like that. First and foremost, because I don't want that on my board, because we do not, I don't want other people seeing it. I don't want kids accidentally seeing it. If a parent is scrolling through their timeline and a kid sees it, I don't want that on my watch, okay? It's for protection of them. And number two, quite honestly, if it's put there, technically it's on my page, I don't want that coming up at a later date that I had something on my board and it got taken down. I don't want the page stripped down, but I also don't want any legal problems going forward on that. So do not, okay? Because you're going to probably see some stuff on Twitter that comes out that is going to be really, really disturbing. Get your eyes ready now because it's going to explode. And quite honestly, it's going to be very, very disturbing. So back to the actual information. Now, this actually opens up to a Gateway Pundit article, all right? Joe Biden's scandal takes a dark turn. FBI's top lawyer on child porn involved in the case. Okay, it is him. It's a match. The emails and text messages, okay, of Hunter Biden are depressing despite many millions of dollars in income. The younger Biden seems to be always in financial distress. Okay, emails from the store owner. In one text, Hunter Biden tells his daughter Naomi she can't keep living like a billionaire's daughter because her dad is broke. I mean, I don't know what all this stuff looks like, but it's pretty messy, obviously, okay? I move on. The Biden family, most corrupt family in U.S. history. Now, I don't agree with that because I think there's other corrupt ones. I think Obama's and the Clintons are horrendously corrupt. Let me quickly show you. I'm not going to show you all these, but I'll give you a brief glimpse into this one.
And joining us now to break down some of the findings in this New York Post report. I understand that you've been following the whole Biden-China ties for a long time, but the most recent report coming out today highlights not necessarily Hunter Biden's ties to Ukraine, but this one is more so China-oriented, and that's something that a lot of people have been talking about for a long time. But from what we're seeing right now, is this tangible evidence to a lot of those allegations?
Oh, I think it's very tangible. It's the reason Rudy and Bob Costello brought me into this project a couple of months ago, was because of the China part and the reason I know the CCP so well. This is stunning. What happened today, this takes it out of what, yesterday set the predicate that Biden has lied. He's lied on the debate stage. He's lied for the last couple of years. He's a liar. But I've always said the Burisma part is dwarfed by China and the CCP. Today, you see the Biden and the family are not just grifters. And Joe Biden's just not a liar. This is a national security problem. Joe Biden and his family are compromised. I don't think Joe Biden could get a security clearance right now, a confidential security clearance. And people in San Diego at the 32nd Street Naval Station where I was stationed on a destroyer understand that a guy like Biden right now being compromised by blood money from the Chinese Communist Party couldn't get a security clearance. I don't know how he could possibly be commander-in-chief.
So I think that's important. I'm going to stop it right there. You can go and look at all these videos. They're all on Twitter. That's huge right there. So think about that. He actually can't be president for many reasons. But just that take the jail part out, take the pedophilia out. I mean, obviously they're horrendous and he should go down immediately. However, and keep in mind, look where Bannon was the whole time. So Bannon was, quote unquote, thrown out of the administration, or was he? Or were they just playing chess? Right? Now, all right, now, Biden could not get security clearance because of his ties to China. Think about that. How in the hell do you have a president if you can't have national, like, I don't even know how that works. Don't know how that works. All right? Completely, I mean, this is he's playing to communist China. He's completely compromised. Done. Election over. Now, it's not really over because they're going to just totally ignore this. I guarantee you, I don't watch the mainstream. You know what? Okay, here is my deal for you. Dr. Dean does watch some mainstream media, right? Now, there's a caveat to that. I don't watch it when I'm home. When I'm traveling on the road like I am right now, I will turn on the TV and I will turn on mainstream media because I want to know what they're saying. So what I'm going to do tonight, probably a little bit of tomorrow and Sunday morning, I will turn on Fox, I'll look at CNN, I'll look at MSNBC, and I will see what they're saying because I'm curious. And I'm going to tell you, they probably won't even talk about what is happening. So, they're all involved. It's going to be Biden. It's going to be, Obama, Hillary. I've read today. I don't have a lot of information on it yet because I haven't had time to research. I have read today that there is apparently a tape. I don't know what that actually means today, but a tape and a hard drive copy sent to Pelosi with a major sex scandal on it. I don't know what that is, but I think you're seeing the dismantling of the system and the dominoes are starting to fall. And everyone says, well, it's just Hunter Biden. I don't even care that Hunter Biden is a meth head or a junkie. I mean, obviously I care because I don't want anyone on drugs. But that's not the problem. The problem is what else he was doing. All right. Now, let me take you to the next video. I am not going to play all these videos, one, because there's many of them and they're a little longer, but I want to get you a flavor of what these videos are like that are coming out right now, okay? So, here is the first one. Let me bring you to this. Oh, I went back too far. There we go. So, remember Dr. Li Mengyan, all right? Let me bring you down to this one. Now, let me turn this one up a little bit.
今天其实说的内容非常非常重要，因为是具体讲到了中共和拜登之间是如何搭桥接线的。那么首先我们说到了这个车峰和叶简明的这条线，还有一条是高圆圆和孙瑶的这条线。那这些都是习近平上来之前布的，但是我们后来又说到，习近平上来之后打破了原来中共的规矩，也就是常委之间互不侵犯的这种规矩。他没有说是发展自己的线，因为他有野心，也没有根基，所以他直接抢别人的。那么他就是用这个白手套叫岳新瑜，现在实际上已经把之前布的这个线和拜登之间的这个线已经抢过来了。那这样就造成了一个结局，就是如果拜登上台的话，那么习近平和拜登他因为这条线的联系，他们在病毒追责这件事情就要牺牲江增梦的海外的财产，那么他们在国内也会被习近平全部灭掉。所以说这个事情就激发了江增梦的一个反击的动作，于是江增梦就作为反击，把几个硬盘都给到了美国，给到了佩洛西一份，给到了司法部一份，两边都压。那么我们可以看到江增梦的这个动作，3个硬盘里除了这个习近平、王岐山、拜登的料，还有这个病毒生化武器的料，也就是说明江增梦在这个时候，他们已经对中共这个体制已经不抱希望了，他们是为了自己的利益。要牺牲中共这个体制，要自己保命，甚至以后在川普总统上来以后全面追责的时候保一定的钱，他们是这么认为的。但是我们说现在这种几股力量，现在有这个江增梦有习的力量，但是更重要的是有爆料革命的力量。爆料革命的力量能保证2点，第一点让他们在内斗越来越激烈，给他们内斗添油加火。那第2点就是说在最后灭共的时候把他们的钱都还给中国人民。所以说这个爆料革命一定是赢到最后的力量。
请听下回分解啊。
So this guy has had many coming out. I think if let me click on this particular one. Here we go. This guy, right, Himalaya Global. Now here's another one. All right, and if you scroll down, there's actually other ones too. I think if you actually follow the hashtag. Now, let me show you something here. right here, and let me, this guy right here, if you can see my mouse going there, the guy, the bald-headed white guy to the left, older guy, I believe that is Alan Greenspan. Now, who is Alan? Yes, guys, obviously speaking in Chinese, I believe. And they're basically talking about the corruption and the 3 hard disks. There's several videos out there. You have to go watch them all. They're all subtitles, obviously, because I don't speak Chinese. Is that Mandarin? I don't actually know. However, the guy in the picture shaking hands with the gentleman from the CCP, I believe, is Alan Greenspan. Now, when I saw those videos, which I'm going to go back through and look at them, when I saw those videos, and a good friend of mine, Dr. St. John, Tina, sent those over to me via my messenger, and the first, I even got caught, I wasn't even listening or watching the subtitles. I caught the picture, and it was on my phone at the time, it wasn't on my laptop, and I'm like, that looks like Greenspan. So then I got it on my computer, and I'm like, holy shit, that's Alan Greenspan. And then I messaged her back saying, Trump's going after the entire system. What do I mean by that? Alan Greenspan is former Federal Reserve Chairman. First of all, now, obviously the Federal Reserve can meet with whoever they want globally. I get it. I'm not saying that they can't. But when I see Alan Greenspan shaking hands with people of the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, I get very fascinated with that, because this could mean the president has been behind this whole thing of taking the entire globalist cabal, Federal Reserve, deep state down. This is massive. If that is the case, if Greenspan was involved with this, and I'm not a fan of Greenspan because I'm not a fan of the Federal Reserve in general, Alan Greenspan used to carry a lot of power. Meaning, this is not, obviously, and obviously we've talked about this. I'm not trying to make this grander than it is, but the thing is, up to this point, we've been talking speculation. We've been talking, hey, this is what I'm reading, this is what I might see, but I haven't had visual evidence yet. We haven't had visual, audible, or written evidence. We think this is going to happen, sources might have said this is where I think it's going, this is what Q talks about. We now have visual evidence that Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and Obama and Hillary and everybody else there are connected to this. Pelosi is now connected to it. We know Feinstein, whatever her name was, connected. However, Alan Greenspan is showing up on these pictures. That is possible visual evidence that the Federal Reserve System could be being dismantled behind the scenes. All right? So this is potentially ginormous. How about we say ginormous? Ginormous, okay? Now, I'm going to bring this one up again as well. Here we go. Hunter Biden, business associate, flips from prison, releases emails detailing China influence peddling operation. If I go to the page, this is actually what it shows. The emails from a former business associate of Hunter Biden's inner circle, who's serving time in prison from 2016 investment scheme, reveal that Hunter and his colleagues used their access to Obama administration to peddle influence to potential Chinese clients and investors, including securing a private off-the-books meeting with the former vice president. You know what that means? That means we have them all. We got the whole damn thing, because if Hunter was involved, by the way, we're all noble patriots, meaning you don't do criminal activities, but if you ever decide to do a criminal activity in your future, or you have someone do it for you, don't hire a drug addict. Don't hire a meth head. Don't hire an addict. I'm clearly being sarcastic here, but when you give things to do to degenerates, as my friend Dr. Brandon says, when you give it to degenerates, guess what? Bad things happen because they do stupid stuff like take pictures of things they shouldn't be taking pictures of, right? It's all connected now. Don't think Obama didn't know all about this. Don't think Hillary didn't know all about this. So when I keep hearing people say, well, when are they going to be arrested? You have to have your ducks in a row before you can go for it. And they weren't going to do it until they had physical evidence in their hand. Now, I'm assuming they already have it. They just haven't rolled it out yet. They haven't shown the public because guess what? We still have how many days? We have 15, 17 days, something like that before the election. They're going to roll this crap out all probably the week or so before so that they can't do a damn thing about it. And I am not convinced that we have an election. I think there's a reset coming of some kind. I'm not going to call it Nasser. You can call it Nasser if you want to. There is some sort of reset going on. The cryptos are being worked on behind the scenes. The new monetary system is being worked on. I'm telling you right now, wait until we go 1 to 2 weeks before this election. And yes, everyone's like, it's got to go now. Oh no, you have time. You have time. It's only the 16th of October. We still have, 3 weeks before this thing rolls? Oh yeah, they're going to totally play this thing out with a perfect timing to it. All right, I'm going to take you through a little thread now. This is called a Twitter thread, and I think you might find this very interesting, okay? I'm going to take you through as much as I can before we roll on to the rest of the night. But this is also very, very fascinating. And this tells you a little bit of how this criminal mafia works. And by the way, if you don't know anything about law, they have them on RICO. They have them on the RICO statutes. And who better to do that? Who better to put this forward than the King of New York, Donald Trump, who, by the way, played with the mafia. Because you can't be real estate, you can't be involved in the business world in New York City without being involved with the mafia. It doesn't mean you were the mafia, it doesn't mean you killed people. You can't get business done without being involved with the mafia at that level. So what better than to bring forward the RICO statutes on the corrupt politicians than the King of New York, President Donald Trump, who is going to go basically all New York mafia on the team. All right, that's what's actually going to happen. So RICO, here we go. Now, here is the, let me bring this up. There we go. Excellent. Remember Zelensky winning the election in Ukraine in April of 2019 was a big upset. All the State Department and Obama White House players fully expected Poroshenko to keep providing cover for them. Suddenly, old Petro wasn't Prez anymore. Now, let me roll through this. And what's that you say? President Trump is talking to this new Ukrainian president about finding out where the billions in missing U.S. aid went? Nobody's supposed to ever know where that money went. Remember, his phone call. They must respond to this. And so Joe Biden immediately announced he was running for president. And Hunter Biden immediately announced he was resigning from his 5-year job on the board of Burisma. Very fascinating, right? Same day, April 25th, 2019. Interesting. So as we scroll down here more, you'll see actually a thread from CNN that actually showed the whole thing, the transcript, etc. Just 4 days after Trump congratulated Zelensky with that phone call, Biden announces he's running and Hunter resigns from Burisma's board. Remember, Hunter took that job offered to him 5 years previously when his dad, as Vice President of the United States, the second most powerful man in the U.S. government, when his dad had that VP office, it apparently wasn't a problem for him to be on the Burisma board. But all of a sudden, the same day Joe Biden announces he's running, Hunter Biden resigns from a very, very lucrative job at a corporate board in the Ukraine. Very strange, eh? If you think Biden family kept all the hundreds of millions of dollars that passed through their hands from all these foreign sources like Ukraine, China, Russia, and many other countries, I am touched by how naive you are. That's not how the DC elite graft game is played. The Bidens didn't keep all the money the same way the Clintons didn't keep all the money donated to their foundation. All right? Over 2/3 of the money merely passed through the Bidens' hands to other people. They get a cut. Welcome to the mafia. They don't keep it. Them's the rules. This is why they're stuck with Biden. The whole point of the Biden candidacy, for which they torched their entire primary process to ensure he won it, is they needed him to be the candidate for when the Ukraine Gate mother of all bombs started dropping. Because they all took the money. The entire top of the Democratic Party and even some Republicans, remember I said Republicans are going down too, they were feasting on this foreign graft. Biden is there to make the exposure of what they did look like an ordinary, baseless political attack. They had to simultaneously launch what they knew would be an absurd Biden campaign. At the same time, they had to quickly engineer the fake whistleblower for the Ukraine impeachment farce. Those of you who believe this is a close election are falling for the gaslighting. The corrupt Ukrainians like Poroshenko and Kolomoisky, whatever, took a big chunk. But for facilitating this theft, Obama State Department people and White House people took a cut. Somebody wrote money laundering. Yeah, no kidding. The corrupt Ukrainians like Poroshenko, they let corrupt goons in Ukraine steal $1 billion in return for a couple million kicked back to them. Hunter's job in Ukraine was money laundering. That's how the Bidens were getting part of their cut. You're going to see the same pattern emerge over and over. Biden family member gets handed a contract, a board job, a deal, or millions in cash. It's their cut. Money laundering can be done in a lot of different ways. Book contracts, for instance, as the mayor of Baltimore got caught doing. The Bidens weren't even particularly creative about hiding how they were getting the kickbacks. They have it all. Keep watching 17 days. The last week is going to be insane. So well stated on that. I mean, really, really well stated. Are you following how this works? But keep in mind, I don't agree that the Bidens are the most corrupt. Not at all. Let me actually show you this video from our buddy Rudy Giuliani. Again, I'm not still the biggest fan of Rudy Giuliani. I don't fully trust him. I think he might have known what was going on 9/11. Maybe he flipped. Maybe he's a good guy. I don't know. I want to like him, but I don't necessarily trust him. However, listen to what he has to say here.
All during the time that I been disrespected, says Hunter Biden to his daughter, I've been the one who supported this family for 30 years. And unlike Pop, I'm not going to require you to give half your salary to me. I didn't write that. He did. He hasn't denied he wrote it. What does that mean? Why is a son giving half his salary to his father and paying all of his father's expenses, unless the son is a conduit for bribe money?
Conduit to bribe money. Look at that. Interesting how we have that happening. This is such a criminal cabal. It's unbelievable. And you're going to continue to see things falling in place. Keep an eye out this weekend. I believe this will trickle out to the weekend. I personally believe Monday is going to be a huge bomb. That's my opinion. I don't know for sure. That's my opinion. Now, a lot of people are going to ask me, they're going to say, is there an event in Dallas? And what about JFK Jr. before? I'm going to go to vaccines tonight too, by the way, just so you know. I'm going to go to vaccines tonight. But everyone wants to know, is there a Trump rally, in Texas? I have not found it personally. So I don't know what's going on tomorrow. If you guys have a link, send it over to me. I have not been searching for it too deep. There might be a campaign that was 2019. Like, I'm looking right now, and I'm not seeing October 17th, but I could be wrong because I know everyone wants to know the same thing. What is going on with October 17th in Dallas? Now, there was last year. I never even said there was. I mean, people were telling me there was, so I'm like, okay, maybe there is, but not. So let me give all the haters. Let me. I don't want to depress all the JFK Jr. people. Okay. Do I think JFK Jr. is coming out tomorrow, October 17th? No, I do not. If he is coming out, I don't think he's coming out tomorrow. I think that would be. If it is the case, and you know how I feel about this, I'm 50-50 on it. I obviously want to believe that he's alive, and that's all great, but I'm a 50-50. I don't know. I've never seen proof. I've never seen evidence. We have documents, etc. I get it. But if you think he's going to come trotting out tomorrow, I'm going to say 99% not happening anywhere. Now, could it happen right before the rally? It could. Could it be last minute? It could. Even though I love to play in the conspiracy world and the speculation world, I don't like playing with this one that much, only because, I mean, I'll ask questions like, hey, do you guys think he was alive? But one of the problems with this is it gets everyone all fired up for it to happen, and then people get disappointed, depressed, sad when it doesn't happen. What I would rather focus on the fact that you have smoking gun evidence that the cabal is going down for money laundering, embezzlement, etc. And then if JFK Jr. happens to be alive and rolls out in the next day or week or month or 2 months or 3 months, great. But focus on the physical facts in front of you. Focus on the fact that we are coming up with corruption charges to the point where you wouldn't even need JFK Jr. right now. Like, with all this stuff coming out and the media is they're gonna be forced into a corner. That's all you need right now to win the election. Let the other stuff come out afterwards. That's fine. But for the record, do I think that JFK Jr. is going to walk out tomorrow or in the next week? I do not. I don't even think he's going to possibly come out before the election. If he does, great. Don't beat me up. I'm just giving you my opinion on that, okay? Now, as we close out the show tonight, I am going into vaccines. Who wants to hear more about vaccines? Now, I posted a little article today. Do I personally agree with Dr. Stella Immanuel that there is alien DNA in vaccines? Well, I'm going to tell you that I knew that before I ever heard about it from Dr. Stella Immanuel. So yes, I do believe there is extraterrestrial alien Draco DNA in vaccines. Now, parents, do not be panicked. Do not be upset. Please don't get all freaked out because obviously you vaccinated your kids, especially if you have autism. Can I tell you something right now, folks? Let me give this personal message to anyone out there who has a autistic or vaccine damaged child. First and foremost, you cannot and you are not allowed to, and I do not give you permission to beat yourself up. Okay? You made a decision based on what knowledge you had at the time. You cannot go back and change the past. Obviously, people are going to say, oh, Project Looking Glass. I'm not talking about that. I'm being real, okay? I'm being very real for people who have had their lives turned upside down, okay? We'll leave the fun stuff for later. This is serious. You cannot beat yourself up. You made the decision that you made at the time with the information you had. All right, I have to tell every patient I get who has autistic or damaged children the same thing. You cannot beat yourself up. We have to fix what we have now and move on. Do I believe that there's alien DNA in vaccines? Absolutely do. 100%. I've been vaccinated. Okay, now I don't have 74 plus vaccines in me. I have like 3, right? So guess what? I have it too. All right. So does my wife. She has probably some of it too. All right. My daughter does not have it. So do the best you can do right now going forward. All right. yes, I do believe that vaccines are one of the largest, biggest, most insane crimes against humanity ever perpetrated, and they know damn well what they're doing, all right? Damn well what they're doing, all right? So, let me take you into some of this information now, okay? Because it is very, very, very important, because you're going to be battling all the people that tell you that you're crazy, that you're wrong. Because look, we even have, right? Look, we have Facebook announcing Tuesday that it had launched a flu vaccine information campaign to connect people with resources, including the nearest location to get a flu shot, and it said it was working with public health organizations on campaigns aimed at increasing immunization rates. Prior to Tuesday's announcement, Facebook already prohibited ads about vaccine hoaxes, publicly identified by the global health organizations, including the World Health Organization and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. You have to remember, you're going to have everyone tell you you're crazy, and you have to be willing to battle that. Just is what it is, okay? You're going to have to be willing to battle that. I see some people are getting booted off their feeds. That is social media. That is not me. Mine is running beautifully. If you guys are having problems, you have to. I've been telling this to you guys a million times. TheRevolutionNetwork.com. If you guys don't want to get booted, you have to go to the website. That is why the network is there, so that as people get booted, it's going to happen, right? I can see the number going down right now. I can tell you're getting booted, all right? You got to hang in there and go to the network if you need to, okay? How about that? That's what you need to do. However, Facebook is going after the vaccine people, the anti-vaxxers, as they say, okay? That's what they're doing. They're going after them. All right. Now, the other thing that I find quite interesting is I want to let you hear Kamala, her words. This is 5D chess at its best. Here you go.
Let me be very clear. I think I have been, but I'll say it again. I do not trust Donald Trump on the issue of a vaccine. If the public health...
Interesting. She does not trust Donald Trump on the vaccine issue. Very, very fascinating. She doesn't trust him, meaning, oh, now she's like, I don't know about that vaccine. I think I'm going to leave it alone because I don't trust the president. He's playing what we call 5D chess. Now, do you know who else can't keep their freaking story straight on anything viral related or vaccine? How about this one? This one is the CDC. CDC denounces unethical and illegal mandatory coronavirus testing in schools. Good Lord, these people do not know what to freaking do with themselves, quite honestly. So let me show you this one because they're insane, as always. The CDC is condemning mandatory coronavirus testing in K through 12 schools, updating guidance after New York City began random testing this week on thousands of students and educators. In revamped advice published this week, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention endorses voluntary surveillance testing in schools but decries any mandates. Now this is a kicker. Look at this one. It is unethical and illegal to test someone who does not want to be tested, including students whose parents or guardians do not want them to be tested, the CDC said. These freaking people literally can't keep their damn minds straight. You're allowed to change minds, but if you're going to be talking about health and vaccines, you can't keep changing your mind because you're supposed to get the science straight right away. They're not. They don't care. They're doing one simple thing. They're trying to confuse the public. That's what they're doing. They do a great job at trying to confuse the public. Now, I want to show you a video that you may not have seen before. And I find this very, very fascinating as we go into quote-unquote public health and vaccines in the near future, all right? This is absolutely a phenomenal video. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Elke de Klerk from the Netherlands, and I want to state that we do not have a medical pandemic or epidemic. We also state that COVID-19 should not be on list A for any longer, because we now know that it is a normal flu virus, and the normal flu virus isn't on list A. So we are also starting a lawsuit to the state of the Netherlands to bring this in with a large group of doctors and a really large group of nurses also, because we have contact with 87,000 nurses that do not want the vaccine that is being prepared for us. I want to state, if there is no pandemic, I am wondering why our kids are in schools with masks. There's absolute constitutional rights, and they cannot be infringed or infringed for any medical reason. There's no reason for panic. Also in the medical practice, there's no reason for panic. The panic is created by these false positive PCR tests. 89% until 94% of those PCR tests are false positive. They don't test for the COVID-19, and also the rest is false negative. So we have to look at clinics. We have to start looking at clinic. Medical doctors have to stop looking at those tests. That's very important. Let's go back to the clinics and to the facts. We have in the Netherlands now the regular press publishing the news that the PCR test is not a correct test. So I'm very happy about that. So there's hope. Thank you.
Statistics have come out that up until April 2020, there was 0 deaths in Ireland. These are the official statistics from the CSO, the Central Statistics Office. The first death was in April, and in the whole country in 2020, we have 98 deaths out of 5 million people. So in Ireland, 30,000 people die every year, 10,000 from cardiovascular disease, 10,000 from cancer. The 98 deaths in Ireland are preventable if they had been given prevention and treatment. And we see now that probably there will be thousands more deaths in Ireland just from cancer and cardiovascular.
So that was tremendous. Those were doctors literally from all over the world, and you had the first one from the Netherlands, and that last woman was from Ireland, it sounded like. And they're all coming out to say this is bogus. I want all of you. So one of the biggest things I hear from people, whether it's through comments, whether it's through messages, whatever, why isn't this on mainstream media? Why isn't this on mainstream? It's not going to be on mainstream. They're never going to show you that. Part of this grand plan is to implode or take down the mainstream media. They're not going to report on, they would never report on that ever, because they're run by the cabal, they're run by pharmaceutical companies, they're run by big manufacturing of all the chemicals in the world. They need that money to continue. But guess what? These videos, guess what goes faster than mainstream media? The internet. Social media. All right, and keep in mind, yes, I know social media is going to go down. Twitter, Facebook, etc. You know, there's other social medias out there. There's Gab, there's Parler, there's a bunch of different ones. Mayway, I believe, is another one. I'm not super active on them yet, only because I have so much time, and I'll actually get someone that takes over all that for me. But social media will get you millions and millions of views much faster than mainstream media will. So the fact that this video is just out there, it is going to do the work necessary to spread to the people we need to spread to. So don't panic, okay? This is going to get out there. People are waking up. Now, here we go. This is my send-off tonight. And by the way, if you have questions, obviously, on autism, on health-related stuff, you can work with me, noblepatriothealth.com. You work directly with me, personalized for your healthcare needs. children's line is noblepatriotkids.com. Okay, for the kids' vitamins. And then you have patriotnutrition.com is the parasite protocol. You have a blue moon in 2 weeks. You better get ready for it. Okay, just letting you know. Parasite protocol, the blue moon is going to bring out the nasty parasites. Now, I'm going to end on a super positive note. All right, I want you to watch 5 minutes, I believe, of genius. If you haven't seen this before, you're in for a real treat.
My name is Laura Wolk, and I am a former student and mentee of Judge Amy Coney Barrett. In part because of her unwavering support, I am the first blind woman to serve as a law clerk on the Supreme Court of the United States. It is now my immense privilege to appear before you in support of Judge Barrett's nomination to that same great institution. You have heard over the past few days about Judge Barrett's judicial qualities, which are beyond reproach. But should you confirm Amy Barrett, the country will receive something far greater than simply an unparalleled legal mind. It will gain the service of one of the kindest individuals I have ever known. Her brilliance is matched only by her compassion, and her integrity is unassailable. I am not speaking in mere abstractions here. Rather, I have experienced these characteristics firsthand with life-changing results. Because I am completely blind, I rely heavily on assistive technology to compete on a level playing field with my sighted peers. Before arriving at Notre Dame Law School in 2013, I worked hard to ensure that the university would purchase backup copies of the technology I use. But upon arrival, I discovered that bureaucratic glitches left me without access to that technology. And on cue, my personal laptop immediately began to fail. Overnight, I found myself struggling to keep up in class, falling increasingly behind with each passing hour. I needed help, and I needed it fast. I'd been Judge Barrett's student only for a few weeks, but her graciousness and warmth gave me hope that she could provide me with that assistance. Even so, I maintained relatively low expectations. Based on my past experience, I assumed that Judge Barrett would simply direct me to the proper bureaucratic channels, which could still take weeks, if not longer, to navigate. But Judge Barrett did something altogether different. She silently listened with deep attention as I explained my situation, giving me the freedom to let down my guard and come apart. As a disabled person, I am accustomed to acting as if I have everything under control, when in reality, the world feels like it is spinning out from under me. But in front of Judge Barrett, I was able to let the mask slip and indeed to disappear completely. I poured out all my concerns, not just about technology and my worries about failing classes, but all the burdens I currently carried as a disabled woman navigating a brand new environment. When I finished, Judge Barrett leaned forward and looked at me intently. "Laura," she said, with the same measured conviction that we have seen displayed throughout her entire nomination process, "This is no longer your problem, it's my problem." I can't capture adequately the relief that washed over me at her words. Her offer was rare enough in its own right, but even when such offers are extended, many unfortunately do not follow through. It's hard to trust an offer of assistance, no matter how desperately it is needed or earnestly it is given. Not so with Judge Barrett. Anyone who has interacted with her knows that she is a woman of her word. She means what she says, and she says what she means. When she promised to advocate for me, she commanded my trust. To this day, I do not know what Judge Barrett did to solve my problem, itself a testament to her humility. All I know is that the technology arrived promptly, which in turn allowed me to excel and to place me in a position that would eventually allow me to apply for a clerkship on the Supreme Court. This encounter was the first in which Judge Barrett demonstrated the depth of her generous spirit, but it was far from the last. She has remained a constant source of strength, encouragement, and solace as I have pursued professional and personal opportunities with no roadmap to guide me. Through her mentorship, she has given me a gift of immeasurable value, the ability to live an abundant life with the potential to break down barriers so that I can leave this world a better place than I found it. Though I am here today to share with you my story, the very best aspect of that story is that it is hardly unique. Those who have had the benefit of knowing Amy Coney Barrett understand that she possesses a boundless font of energy and a radical sense of love that she is ever ready to pour out upon those lucky enough to call her teacher, boss, family, and friend. Judge Barrett will serve this country with distinction, not only because of her intellectual prowess, but also because of her ability to treat everyone as an equal, deserving of complete respect. As a beneficiary of both of these qualities, I urge you to confirm Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court of the United States. Thank you.
Okay. So, for the record, first of all, for the record, that woman reads Braille faster and more effectively than I think all of us speak English and can read a book, because her hands going back and forth were so freaking impressive that I don't even know what to say. Like, as I was watching that, I was like, she's more effective with Braille than we are with the English language, reading and speaking it. That's insane. Like, holy cow. And then her story, just like, ridiculous. I was not crying. So, do not let anybody hold you down. Do not allow, it's not even just a testament to the Supreme Court justice. It's a testament to life. I mean, that woman has every single reason to give up, every single reason to not push forward. She had every reason to quit when she wasn't getting what she needed to, like, obviously just even stay equal on a footing. And then on top of that, she is freaking a clerk in the Supreme Court, and she's completely blind. You all need to step up your game, because she's rocking it. I was actually at an event tonight, and I need to leave you with this line, okay? I need to leave you with this line. A friend of mine, Dr. Bob, I'm gonna probably embarrass him if he's watching. My wife will text him what I said. Dr. Bobby Palmer is a friend of mine. He's a chiropractor, great guy, and I was at a dinner tonight real quick, and he made a little bit of a short speech, and he talked about essentially creating, going forward, creating your business, creating your practice, creating what you want. And his line was this, it was simple. The only way to predict the future is to create it. Now, I don't think he came up with that quote necessarily. It might have been from somebody else. The fact is, he's the one that said it. He's the one I heard it from tonight again. The only way to predict the future is to create it. And we are entering into a world that is for us. We are entering into a new world where we are given, I don't want to say given the power back, but we kind of are, because people didn't know we lost the power. We didn't lost we the people. We the people are taking back our power. And if we want a great world for ourselves, if we want a great world for our children, if we want a great world for our families, then no one is going to create it but you. I hear people say, I need more money. I don't have enough money. I live day to day. I live paycheck to paycheck. Or my kids are this way. Or my kids are being difficult. Or a parent is being, whatever. People have things every day they say. And guess what? There's only one person that's on. And that's on you. So if you have something in your world that is not going the way you want it to go, there's only one person that has power over that. And if you think somebody else has power and you're blaming somebody else, oh, this person has this person is doing this to me, my car is this way, and I don't have this money because of this. No, it's on you. Your problems are on you. When you say it's on somebody else or somebody else is causing the problem and you're the victim, that's a victim mentality. We are not a country of victim mentalities. We have to get away from that. That woman who is completely blind has every reason to stay at home. She had every reason to drop out. She had every reason to fall behind. She had every reason to say, oh, poor me, I don't have what I need. There's bureaucracy and I can't get the technology I need, etc. Instead, she took responsibility. She went to a person she thinks could help her. And not only did she help her, she said, this is now on me. I'm going to make it happen for you. So if you have a problem, it is on you. Just like my problems are on me. My wife's problems are on her. My daughter's problems are on her. Your problems are on you. So I will repeat that quote from my friend Dr. Bobby Palmer from tonight. The only way to predict the future is to create it. Therefore, if you would like a certain future, get up and create it. It's as simple as that. I hope this was helpful. I am not going to do questions tonight. I will answer some behind the scenes if I need to, not because I don't want to, just I went long. It is Friday night, and I'm going to go get some rest and some sleep and all that good stuff. I hope this brought value to you. I love all of you guys. Noble Patriots, you are amazing. Please, please, please stay focused. Please stay positive. Create your future. There is no more victim mentality. It's on you. All right? As always, do me a favor. Tomorrow, this weekend, go out and serve and help someone else that might be in need. Even if they aren't in need, find a way to help them, find a way to help somebody. That is your homework. I will see you not tomorrow. I will see you on Sunday. We'll have Jason Q on. You guys are amazing. I love you all. Have an amazing, wonderful weekend. Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network. Be well.